In 2025, U.S. intelligence and cybersecurity agencies began warning about a new kind of threat spreading across the internet. Artificial intelligence was now capable of creating fake voices, realistic videos, and convincing news reports powerful enough to fool millions of people. As deepfake technology rapidly improved, officials from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency feared foreign influence campaigns could exploit AI to manipulate public opinion during the presidential election. What started as online misinformation soon raised a much larger question. What happens when people can no longer tell the difference between truth and deception? This documentary explores the growing AI election threat, the rise of deepfake propaganda, and the hidden battle over information that could shape the future of democracy itself. In early 2025, a short audio clip began spreading across social media in the United States. The voice sounded calm, official, and familiar. In the recording, a man claiming to be connected to election authorities warned that voting systems in several states had already been compromised. Within hours, millions of people had heard it. Some believed it immediately. Others dismissed it as another internet rumor. But the real panic started when experts discovered something disturbing. The voice in the recording did not belong to a real person at all. It had been generated entirely by artificial intelligence. For investigators inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Cybersecurity agencies, that moment confirmed a fear they had been quietly discussing for months. America was entering a new kind of information war, one where fake videos, cloned voices, and AI-generated propaganda could spread faster than truth itself. Officials worried the next major attack on the United States might not involve missiles, bombs, or hackers breaking into computer systems. It could begin with something much simpler, a believable lie released online at exactly the right moment. And by the time the public realized it was fake, the damage could already be irreversible. The concern did not appear overnight. For years, intelligence agencies had warned about foreign influence campaigns targeting American elections through social media. During previous election cycles, investigators uncovered networks of fake accounts linked to overseas groups attempting to spread division and distrust among voters. But by 2025, the technology behind those operations had changed dramatically. Artificial intelligence made it possible to create realistic videos, cloned speech, fabricated interviews, and convincing fake news articles within minutes. Programs that once required advanced technical expertise were now available to ordinary users online. Cybersecurity researchers began demonstrating how AI could imitate public figures almost perfectly. In one public example, a cloned voice copied a politician's speech pattern so accurately that many listeners failed to notice it was fake. In another case, AI-generated videos showed fabricated events that never actually happened. Officials inside the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency started warning that future election interference might focus less on attacking voting machines directly and more on manipulating public perception. Because if millions of people no longer trusted the information they were seeing, then the chaos itself could become the weapon. As the presidential election season intensified, investigators reportedly noticed a sharp rise in suspicious online activity. Thousands of social media accounts appeared almost simultaneously across multiple platforms. Unlike older bot networks that posted repetitive propaganda, these accounts behaved differently. They interacted naturally with users. They responded emotionally during arguments. They shared personal stories and political opinions in ways that felt authentic. Some accounts posed as veterans frustrated with the government. Others appeared as students, journalists, or ordinary American families discussing economic fears and political anger. Researchers studying the activity discovered many of the accounts were likely supported by AI systems trained to imitate human behavior. The goal was not simply to spread fake information, it was to build credibility first. Once trust was established, the accounts gradually introduced manipulated narratives designed to increase tension around elections, immigration, race, crime, and economic instability. Analysts feared the strategy was carefully designed to exploit America's emotional divisions. The deeper they looked, the more investigators realized they were facing something far more sophisticated than traditional propaganda. This was not just misinformation. It was targeted psychological manipulation, operating at enormous scale. Then the deepfake videos started spreading. One clip appeared to show a public official privately discussing plans to interfere with vote counting. Another showed what looked like federal agents preparing for unrest near polling stations. The videos moved across social media at incredible speed. Millions watched them before experts had time to verify whether they were real. By the time digital forensic analysts proved several clips had been artificially generated, public distrust was already growing. Some viewers continued believing the videos even after corrections were issued. That became one of the biggest fears inside federal agencies. Once a false story triggered emotional reactions online, removing the damage became almost impossible. Investigators reportedly worried that hostile foreign actors understood this perfectly. They did not necessarily need every American to believe fake content completely. They only needed enough confusion to weaken public trust. Cybersecurity experts later explained that artificial intelligence had changed the speed of modern disinformation entirely. In previous years, propaganda campaigns required teams of people creating fake posts manually. AI systems could now produce endless variations automatically, 24 hours a day, adapting constantly to public reactions. The machine never became tired. It never stopped learning. And according to several intelligence analysts speaking publicly during 2025, that reality represented one of the most dangerous information threats the country had ever faced. Government officials began discussing increasingly alarming scenarios. What if a realistic fake emergency broadcast appeared online during election week? What if AI-generated videos falsely showed violence at polling stations or fabricated statements from military officials? Researchers demonstrated that artificial intelligence could already create convincing local news broadcasts, complete with realistic anchors, graphics, and emergency alerts. Some cybersecurity teams reportedly conducted simulations examining how quickly public panic might spread if fake crisis footage circulated before authorities could respond. The results exposed a serious problem. False information moved faster than official verification systems. Social media algorithms rewarded emotional reactions, not accuracy. By the time investigators debunked one fabricated clip, thousands of reposts and edited versions had already spread elsewhere online. Officials worried the United States was entering an era where truth itself could struggle to survive during moments of national tension. Several congressional hearings in 2025 focused directly on the growing threat posed by AI-generated misinformation. Technology executives, intelligence officials, and cybersecurity experts testified publicly about the risks. Some lawmakers warned that America's enemies no longer needed traditional cyber attacks to weaken the country. Confusion alone could destabilize institutions if the public lost confidence in elections, emergency systems, and verified information sources. Behind closed doors, pressure reportedly increased between federal agencies and major technology companies. Investigators pushed social media platforms to respond more aggressively to manipulated content, while executives worried about accusations of censorship and political bias. Nobody wanted responsibility for deciding what counted as real during a highly polarized election year. At the same time, AI tools continued improving rapidly. Voice cloning became more realistic. Video generation systems became faster and cheaper. Experts warned that future deepfakes might become almost impossible for ordinary users to detect without specialized forensic analysis. Several public scams already demonstrated how dangerous the technology could become. Criminal groups used cloned voices to impersonate family members during fake emergency phone calls, demanding money. Businesses reported fraud attempts involving artificially generated executive voices authorizing financial transfers. Each new incident revealed how easily human trust could be exploited. once artificial intelligence learned to imitate people convincingly. For election security officials, the implications were deeply concerning. Modern democracies rely heavily on shared trust in information systems. If citizens stopped believing official announcements, emergency broadcasts, or legitimate news reporting, the resulting confusion could spread far beyond politics. Some researchers described the danger using a chilling phrase that began appearing more often during cybersecurity discussions: information collapse. As Election Day approached, agencies including the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency increased public warnings about foreign influence operations and AI-generated deception campaigns. Officials urged Americans to verify information carefully before sharing emotional content online. They warned that manipulated videos and fabricated audio clips could appear during critical moments designed to provoke panic and distrust. Intelligence agencies also continued monitoring foreign groups suspected of experimenting with AI-assisted propaganda systems. According to several cybersecurity researchers, the real danger was not a single fake video or viral post. It was the cumulative effect of constant uncertainty. If enough manipulated content flooded the internet, people could eventually begin doubting everything they saw. Some experts feared society was moving toward a future where every controversial recording, every political speech, and every breaking news event would immediately trigger suspicion about whether it had been artificially generated. In that environment, confusion itself becomes a powerful weapon, because when truth becomes difficult to confirm, fear and anger often fill the gap faster than facts ever can. Today, the full scale of these influence operations remains unclear. Some investigations are ongoing. Other details may never become public. But one reality has already become impossible to ignore. Artificial intelligence has permanently changed the information battlefield. Governments around the world are now racing to prepare for a future where fake media can spread globally within minutes and reach millions before verification systems react. Experts continue warning that the next generation of AI tools may become even harder to detect, cheaper to produce, and more effective at manipulating human emotions. And that raises a question far larger than politics alone. What happens to a society when people no longer trust what they hear with their own ears or see with their own eyes? For decades, Americans worried about cyber attacks targeting computers and infrastructure. But the deeper fear emerging in 2025 was something far more unsettling. The possibility that artificial intelligence could eventually target reality itself, because the most dangerous weapon of the modern era may not be a missile, a virus, or a hacker breaking into a secure network. It may be a believable lie, powerful enough to make millions question the truth at the exact moment they need it most. Before you decide what's real online, remember this: the next fake video, cloned voice, or AI-generated headline could be designed to manipulate millions before the truth even catches up. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Intelligence Unsealed and join us as we uncover hidden operations, government secrets, cyber threats, and the real stories shaping the modern world. Because sometimes the most dangerous threats are the ones hiding in plain sight.